entrepreneurial book club where Stephanie never read the right book. And
Stephanie was terrible at this book club.
I really sucked at book club.
I did
Fabulous. What?
I just had a visual. I just had a
It was a
visual.
lot.
I had a visual.
Proud of it. Happy Thursday, everyone. How are you today? We have got the professionals lined up here on a panel for you today. So be prepared to chat about weight loss, doctors, all the things that make you squirm in your seat in your uncomfortable situations. This is a comfy zone. We're in a safe space, everyone. I'm just going to make sure that I tag you guys. So in the studio with us today, we've got Doc Arnold, who is back again, looking like a less Doc Arnold. You're slimmer. Get nice and close to your microphone, you guys. And we've got Pharmacist Mike on the show with us today.
Morning, everyone.
So I am very excited since I'm part of the Veritas family. I get all the emails. I keep up to date with everything that is new and happening. And I feel like you guys are always adding some new stuff to what's going on in your practice. So maybe we'll just start out with the practice. What is Veritas? What exactly it is that you do?
So Veritas Direct Care, we're a primary care practice located in Hyannis. We're right across the street from Cape Cod Hospital. And we follow the direct primary care model, which means we don't work for insurance companies. We work directly for our patients. We don't work for Medicare. We don't work for Blue Cross. We work directly for our patients. We have two primary care MDs. Dr. Manning is an orthopedic surgeon who does consultations in our office. We have 3 wonderful physician assistants, 2 wonderful nurse practitioners, an army of nurses, and the illustrious Mike Safoli, our clinical pharmacist. It is a rare thing in a regular primary care practice to have a pharmacist embedded in the practice.
Really amazing.
But Mike helps to take care of our patients who are on complex medications. He helps to manage our diabetic patients. If they're on expensive medications, he helps them save money. And what we're talking about today is he helped to start our weight loss clinic. We know that weight is obviously a problem. It's a problem all over the world, but particularly in the United States. This is something I have fought myself my entire life.
I have no idea what you're talking about. It is constant. It's not just a female issue to look and feel your best. It's everyone's issue all the time. It's always been a struggle, I think, for most people, unless you're just naturally a slender person, or even then people have tough time gaining weight. I know a couple of my girlfriends, which I hate, are like, oh, I can't get an ounce. And I get it. Everybody has their body. We're stuck with what it is that we're given, whether it works for us or not.
That is true. But it is, and it's not about the number. It's about being healthy and feeling well. And it's something that I've been struggling with my entire life. And I will tell you, as a doctor, I went to medical school in the early 2000s.
Sorry.
And they were coming off the fen-phen problem in this country in the 90s, where there was a weight loss medication that actually caused people a lot of problems. And so when I was in medical school, there were nothing but ads from lawyers on TV saying, did your doctor prescribe you this medication? So it was instilled into me, don't prescribe medication for weight loss. However, we have new medications that have been out for quite a while that are safe and can actually help people with weight loss. And I think we need to get rid of the stigma about trying to actively help people. And we do have these tools, these pharmaceutical tools, in addition to lifestyle management. We all need to be healthier. We need to be more active. We need to eat better. Dr. Kelly on her exam room, on her dry erase board, because I used it yesterday and I saw it all day. She said, movement is medicine.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
We need to move. We need to be healthy. But we do have tools now, and pharmaceutical tools, that are safe and can help people when used appropriately. And that's where Mike comes in.
Okay. Good morning, by the way, to Nathan, Wendy, Kayla, Christy. Thank you for joining us on the show today. We've got Doc Arnold here, and we've got our pharmacist, Mike. Hi, good morning. Get close to your microphone. We don't bite, I promise. I know we've removed you from your clinical situation. So you're the one who started this weight loss clinic, so to speak, at Veritas.
You could say that, yeah.
All right. So why?
Why? Well, the meds are expensive.
Yeah.
And there's a large shortage of them. And, well, there's a shortage commercially.
Okay.
Compounded preparations seem to be very easy to come by.
So maybe talk about that and maybe just explain to people what the medication is, what it is that you're doing, and kind of give them a little background.
Sure. So these medications, commercially, let's say it's Wegovy, Zepbound. Those are the 2 weight loss, the big ones.
Yeah.
So they're GLP-1 agonists. Zepbound has another incretin hormone with it. It's a GLP-1 agonist and a GIP. What these meds essentially do is cause a caloric deficit by making you feel full longer.
Okay.
And keeping food in your system, in your stomach longer. Slows your gastric emptying rate.
Okay.
So you're just not hungry. That's the basics of them.
Okay, because I was always just very curious, and especially if you watch anything on TikTok, Instagram, the surge and the usage of this without any medical supervision is monstrous. I think this is the first time I've ever seen anybody just actively go out there and get prescriptions from Canada, random doctors online, Mexico, like wherever you are. I've never seen any drug where people have reacted like this.
And that's why people are getting it at their gyms, at their hair salons. That's why we want to bring it into our clinic. It's so we can help monitor people, guide them. They are generally safe, but they're not for everybody.
Okay.
And we do need to monitor, and we, in our practice, we're able to monitor people's blood work appropriately. They can follow with their Veritas provider very closely. We evaluate their family history. My suspicion is nobody at a gym is asking any patient about their family history.
Yeah, Kristen, Mike does look a little scared. He'll get used to it. He'll settle down. It is bright lights and randomness down here, so it's fine.
Thanks, Kristen.
He's settling in just fine. So
it'll be all right.
You're the one that is monitored. So talk about the compound versus the regular just stick in the leg shot that you get from when you're paying $1,000, $2,000 with the insurance company or whatever it is. And there was a big conversation about taking that medication away from diabetics. Like, let's talk about that conversation as far as like why it was so readily grabbed by everyone and why people are going to alternative markets, spending stupid amounts of money instead of just going to their doctor. Why is this?
Well,
is it embarrassment?
No, I think it's a $300, cost versus if your insurance doesn't cover it, $1,300 a month. I mean, there's a big difference there. And it also seems to be a pretty easy. I get ads on Facebook all the time to go purchase, I don't know, Henry Meds is one of them. There's a few different ones.
That kind of scares me that this many people are willing to just go and just, okay, well, this worked for so-and-so, so I'll just do it. It's a lot of people.
I agree with you. It's one of the reasons we decided to bring it into our office.
Yeah, you're like, I'm not fighting it.
Right. People were doing it. People are doing it anyway. I agree with you. It's important that diabetics who need this medication get access to it. All too often, it's not the supply of medication that's the problem. It's the insurance companies limiting what their patients can have access to.
And this has been your mission with Veritas all along. Yeah. So it's going along with the things that you're already doing. So it makes sense.
So we work directly for our patients and we try to avoid having gatekeepers of insurance companies and corporate pharmacies and pharmacy benefit management systems that are limiting patients access to the drugs that they need. We have diabetic patients that are able to get the medicine through our clinic and pay us directly for it, and it ends up being a whole lot less than what they have to pay at the pharmacy.
Okay. So I've been a patient at Veritas since January, and I love how it works. You can just go in and get your blood monitored. I can call Andrea and be like, how does that look? Where am I at here? And just like really have numbers right away without having to have so many different appointments, so many different paperwork, so many different labs. It's just nice to be able to, just go down the hall and get that, or go over here.
And you have that continuity with Andrea You're on a first name basis.
Yeah.
Whether she knows you, she knows about your history, she can follow your blood work, but also have the backup of our whole practice, especially Mike. If medications are appropriate.
And then got me into the dermatologist before I could get myself in. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. RTB, I have to do the same with the Jardians and have them not put it through insurance. It's like, it's a fight all the time with your insurance company.
It is a fight. That's why we're doing what we're doing. And we just, by working directly with and for our patients, it is a better system.
Mike, you and I talked previously about your seeking out this medication when you were first starting this clinic, and you and Doc Arnold actually went to the facilities.
So
we were invited.
Oh, you were invited.
Yes.
Okay.
It's on my list of things to do.
Okay.
We use a supplier in Orlando, Florida, and I'm down there a lot, and that's on my list of things to do.
Well, I just think it's important that you know you have a relationship with these people directly. It's not like you're just like, oh yeah, truck it in. And we got 9 million customers now because everybody wants to lose weight. Bring it on in.
And they're in the United States.
Yeah. Which is nice.
The other day we had ordered a shipment and it was lost with UPS. I called our rep and within 3 minutes it was fixed.
Oh, I was wondering. I was like, were people stealing it?
Nope.
Are we that hard up for our weight loss drugs now?
No, not it.
Good morning, Natalie, Dawn, Laura, Mary. Everybody wants to know about this drug. And since you're feeling comfortable enough to take it for yourself, I think that's really important to say.
So yes, I'm taking it. I started to see, we've been using GLP-1 agonists with diabetics for years. They've been around for 20 years. And we've seen safe results with our diabetics. And of course, as everybody knows, I'm sorry? 19 years. Thank you, Mike.
The pharmacist knows.
The pharmacist, yeah. So, and we've seen good results with our diabetics. They are safe. They've starting to become first-line medications for our diabetic patients. They do help to manage their sugar levels that are when sugar gets released from the liver. And generally, people with diabetes can lose a little bit of weight. As everybody knows, watching the news, and we saw it over the last couple of years, we've seen that non-diabetic patients can lose weight with it. I started seeing my patients ask about it. I started seeing my patients actually using it. And what I was hearing from them was that they were tolerating it. And the biggest thing is that they weren't thinking about food all day. And that has been my issue my entire life. You know, I spend 10 hours a day telling people to eat better and exercise more. And I'm just as human as all of my patients. And I like to talk about Dr. Kelly has a very kind patient, if misguided, but kind, who brings us every 2 to 3 weeks BJ-sized bags of peanut butter cups, which Dr. Kelly puts in the freezer in the back. I'm giving away Veritas Direct Care secrets. And you know how it is at 3 o'clock when your willpower is at your lowest. There's a line of our staff members at the freezer going to get peanut butter.
Yeah, you're tired. You're running on fumes.
Right.
Speak for yourself, man.
Not that I would ever do anything like that, but
you're like, it's peanut butter, it's chocolate, it's protein. We can get away with this.
So after talking with my primary care provider, who's at Veritas, of course, and talking with Mike and looking at my blood work and reviewing my family history with Mike, and I worked with my team and determined that I think I would be a good candidate for this medication. And since I've started it, I have not had one peanut butter cup. I just don't even think about it. It's actually amazing. And the constant thinking about food just isn't happening. And since I started it 9 weeks ago, I'm down 20 pounds.
Well,
so
that's impressive.
Well, you're
also a guy.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm also
whatever.
I'm also working at
that one.
It's important to that everybody also works on their lifestyle. So I am working on what I'm eating. I'm trying to eat more vegetables, leaner protein, less peanut butter cups, and I'm going to the gym. You'll see me at Fitness 500 at least 6 days a week. I'm really trying to practice what I preach, and it's working. And I feel good. I'm not having bad side effects. But I think that's a good segue for Mike to talk about some of the potential side effects.
Yeah, because you're seeing hundreds of people pretty much daily with every kind of body type, every kind of issue, every kind of thing that's going on in their life, and then trying to medicate around that. What are you seeing as constant in your area of medication that you're seeing either people complain about or worries?
Worries. First consult visit, most people come in worrying about what they read on the internet. Oh, it's nausea. I'm gonna nauseous to the point of vomiting. And then, some GI symptoms. Those are the two biggest concerns.
Okay.
In general, I would say the nausea is more of what's explained to be more of the food noise is gone. The food chatter is gone. You just don't think about food. Maybe you wake up the day after an injection and you have a bit of an uneasy stomach or just not interested, just feeling full, almost like after Thanksgiving, that, oof, I don't want to look at, I'm good. I don't want to look at food. But other than that, there's really no major side effects, if you will.
Right. I noticed increased thirst, so I'm drinking more water,
okay.
which is
okay. That's not really a problem.
Right? Yeah. I also tell people 10 hours a day to drink more water, and it's nothing for me to go the entire day without drinking water. My nurse is always yelling at me about it, but you
have constant babysitters. That's kind of nice.
But now I do drink water through the day, and that's actually a good thing. But that's really the only major side effect I have personally noticed. But it is important. People can have side effects. With any medication, people can have side effects. That's why it's important to be monitored closely. And that's what we can do in our system.
Yeah.
We're checking in with our patients. We're checking their blood work every 4 weeks, the liver function and kidney function, to make sure their metabolic system is tolerating the medication.
They don't damage your kidneys. They don't damage your liver.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people are worried about that. I mean, putting any medication in your body, you have those concerns, which is wild to me, why people are going to their hairdresser to get medication, and yet you're worried about how your body is functioning. Something is broken there. I'm just curious what it is. Like, where is the disconnect in our situation? Shelly says, way to go, Doc Arnold. Rick says, I have GLP-1 and down 140 pounds. It's really working for me. You said constipation, though. Rich, Amina, Ricky, thank you for joining us. And Don says, amazing practice.
I agree. It is an amazing practice. We have a great team.
Yeah, you do.
I would also like to say we're not just focusing on medications with our weight loss program. Lifestyle management is super important. A wonderful nurse in our practice, Bethany Emmel, who's worked with me for, as she said on Instagram 2 days ago, 11 years. I'm very proud of her. She has become a nurse coach. She's gone through the training to become a nurse coach. And this is something that I haven't seen in any Cape Cod primary care practice.
Yeah.
But a nurse coach will help coach patients with lifestyle management.
I have to say that really was kind of the kickstart for me in doing better for myself. It wasn't like she told me anything profound. It was that I had somebody there to just be like, okay, yep, do this, do this, do this. I had Doc Arnold on, I want to say November. My husband immediately became a patient because this is the thing that he was looking for with his very nervous self. And then he started, prodding me, gotta go, you gotta go. And it was an email that I had gotten from Bethany that was talking about her nutrition clinic. And I was like, okay, I need to be reminded of how I need to eat better for myself because I spend long hours sitting down in a studio. I forget time. I'm down here editing, and then I wait till the very end of the day. And then I'm just eating everything in sight because I deprived my body all damn day long. And now it's a disaster. Then we start the cycle over again. So it was an email from Bethany where I sat there and she did like a FaceTime Zoom type of meeting with a bunch of other people. And we just went over the basics of nutrition. And I thought it was just a really good reminder. And I was so thankful that was part of the practice. It wasn't like the upcharge of like waiting for my insurance to now charge me because I wanted to go and learn something better to take care of myself. I thought that was nice.
And just like any other coach in sports or anything, a coach is going to help keep you accountable and guide you along the way. And so she is going to be doing individual nurse coaching as well as group nurse coaching going forward. So please, if you're interested in getting that more personalized focus on lifestyle management, check us out, veritasdirectcare.com, and look for information about nurse coaching with Bethany.
Mike, talk about the medication itself and people's, are they afraid? I mean, it's needles.
I would say there's a good portion of people that walk in and they're like, oh, I have to inject myself.
Yeah.
But I would say you have 100% of patients so far walk out there like, that's it.
Yeah.
That's the size of the needle. Oh, I didn't even feel it.
Yeah.
So it's really not as scary as you think it is.
Yeah.
And for my first dose, Mike walked me through it. He was my injection coach, and no, you don't feel it. The needles are very, very tiny. If people have a needle phobia, they could certainly come in and have any of our nurses or Mike help them with the injection.
But that's really nice. Like, that's the service that you have, whatever your level of comfort is. And I can't stress to you enough that you need to be monitored with this drug. And if you're currently getting it from your hairdresser, you and I were talking about that. And I do have a couple of girlfriends that go that route, and it's far cheaper for them. But then the minute that you were like, this has a shelf life.
Oh, the compounds themselves. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The physical medication is, the vial is 28 days once you puncture it. That's any compounded. That's a pharmaceutical across the board. Doesn't matter what the drug is.
So they've been using the same vial now for a year. So not only is that scary, but also it's now, we're injecting, it could be possibly poison, toxic bacteria.
I mean, I don't know if I'd go that far, but every time you puncture it, you're putting a needle in and potentially drawing bacteria from the air, putting it into the vial, and then you're putting it in yourself.
Right.
To me, that sounds like a great way for a staph infection or cellulitis or something.
That's why I do think it's important to have, whether or not you're a patient at our clinic or any clinic, have your medical team monitor you.
Yeah.
Have them guide you. Make sure that what you're doing is safe.
What's the difference between all of them? Because I feel like there's one going from this one to this one to this one, whatever they can get their hands on.
That's a great question.
Yeah, I'm just curious.
The way it's injected.
Okay.
Essentially, I mean, the drugs themselves. So Mounjaro and Zepbound are tirzepatide. Wegovy, Ozempic is semaglutide. The structures are a little bit different. You know, the physical medication itself.
Okay.
Really, they do the exact same thing.
Okay.
But one of them's an auto injector. One of them is an auto injector that you actually have to. Well, it's not an auto injector, but you have to push it, against your skin. The other one, you push a button. The other one is Ozempic is a pen. You screw a pen tip on. And then
so they're just changing the name of it, but really it's the same drug?
Not the exact same drug, but
okay.
Yes, sister drugs, if you will. Very, very, very similar. And yeah, it's just how they work. It's supposedly most of the cost is because of the plastic in the pen, the mechanism of the pen, how to inject it. So when we get the compound, I'm drawing up the doses into an old-fashioned syringe and needle. And again, not needle, but 1/4 of an inch needle.
Okay.
So very, very small. But right there, most of the cost is mitigated because we're not using fancy injection mechanisms.
I love that you guys are really monitoring everything. I think it's really important. We're watching so many videos and TikTokers and people that are using it and having great success with it, but you're also seeing the nastiness come out. And when people see that you're losing weight using a drug, then they personally attack you. And I feel like it's really important that you've got the guidance, you've got the support, you've got people in your life that are checking in on you. How's your mental health? How are you feeling today? What's going on? Because there is that component to not only weight loss, but also this drug.
And I realize there's stigma about it. And I think we need to reduce that. That's why I'm very open with people about that I'm taking it.
And what would be the difference if somebody lost weight with Weight Watchers? That's a tool, is it not?
There is no difference, but it seems to me that this is like the angry, where you've seen girls like all you're doing is giving yourself anorexia for a little while until you stop taking the drug. Well, how would you answer that?
So I get that question a lot.
Okay.
Do I have to stay on this medication forever? I have seen numerous patients who who have lost weight on the medication are able to stop it. And what they've done is they've learned the lifestyle techniques. They've learned a lot about themselves, and they're able to keep the weight off. I'm still on it. I'm going to have to wait and see how I do on it. I'm still progressing. I'm on the 3rd level of dosing now, with Mike's guidance. I will also say about medications, every day as a doctor, I prescribe blood pressure medication to help people lower their blood pressure.
Right.
I prescribe cholesterol medication to help lower their cholesterol. I don't hear much angry stigma about that. Oh, you're on a cholesterol medication to lower your cholesterol. No, it's the obesity is a problem, and we can help people improve it. We can. There's lots of different ways. Yes, people can use lifestyle management to help lower their blood pressure, lower their cholesterol. That's excellent. Well, we should use all the tools available to us. And really, it's our job to treat the patient in front of us and whatever is appropriate for them, and not worry about public stigma about what people on Facebook.
That's always going to it's always going to happen anyway. It's just the society in which we live in, and it's a video primarily society now where people are constant judging. It's always going to happen anyway, but I do like that you have this support team behind you when you're getting your medication from a doctor. And a pharmacist.
Yeah. I think we have a good team, and if you're curious about it, if you're a Veritas patient, talk to your Veritas provider and say, hey, can I maybe set up a meeting with Mike? Mike has not slapped a patient in weeks.
So proud of you, Mike.
Yeah. It's been a good 9
weeks.
Good.
Yeah, 9 weeks since he slapped anybody. And so Mike is excellent at talking to patients, talking about their weight loss journey through their lives in a non-judgmental way, and he can talk to you about options. And a whole lot of times, the patient doesn't walk out with a new prescription for anything.
Yes,
that's important to talk about.
Let's make a point here. Just because I am a pharmacist does not mean I push drugs. Now, Bethany in nurse coaching, she has a lot more experience than I do with nutrition in a holistic aspect, but I do have a little bit of experience there, so I'm not just going to say, oh, here, have a drug. So it's all encompassing. You have to do, in my opinion, you do everything, you get the best result, non-pharmacologic and pharmacologic.
And we are also open to seeing patients that are not currently members at our practice.
Mm-hmm.
If you are tied in and very close to your primary care provider who is, and that's great. That's a great relationship to have. Talk to your primary care provider about it. If you think you'd be a good candidate, but the insurance and pharmacy system is not allowing you to have this medication, then talk to your primary care provider and get a referral over to us. And we can have you sit down with Mike.
That's a great conversation. Yeah.
We can have you sit down with Mike and see whether or not you are a good candidate. And if we can help you, we want to help. So again, it's veritasdirectcare.com. Talk to your primary care provider. Come on in and make an appointment with Mike.
Yeah, if you're wondering where they are, they're across from Cape Cod Hospital, veritasdirectcare.com. Nate says, I want to go back to working out. But if I go to GNC, what ingredients or products should I be looking to avoid?
We don't have enough time to talk about it.
It's like, how many things Nate. Should you not be having? That's a lot. That's a loaded question.
So one of the things you have as just right off the top, it's a great question. Something that I see that is ubiquitous in gyms and people need to be cautious about are a lot of the protein powders.
Mm-hmm.
There are some safe protein powders and there are some less than safe protein powders. You got to be careful. If you have high blood pressure, if you have any sort of kidney disease, liver disease, you got to be careful about what you put in your body, which is why you need to talk to your primary care provider about it. And then, of course, you got to watch out for any hormonal issues. And there's lots of steroids flowing around, and you flip through on Instagram and Facebook and all ads for the testosterone or hormones and all that. You got to be very, very careful about that stuff. Most of it is unregulated. and you need to get guidance from your doctor.
Well, the next and best and healthiest is not necessarily that, and who is actually verifying these things,
Right.
which is a little frightening.
We have in our practice, one of the really great things about our practice is we have wonderful people who work there, and everybody has their own little niches and interests. Our lab manager, Sue, who is a medical assistant, she's wonderful.
An amazing photographer.
And an amazing photographer, Suzanne Marie Creations. She has developed a relationship with a supplement distributor who they focus on healthy supplements, non-GMOs, less fillers, less crud. And so she talks to our patients about different options for their supplements because we realize patients are taking supplements. They are,
Right.
and they might as well take healthy and good quality supplements. It's things that they don't teach us in medical school.
Yeah.
And so she helps to guide people. And if we can save them a little bit of money on healthier supplements, then we're happy to do it.
It's important to know what you're putting in there for ingredients, especially when she's running their blood.
Yeah.
She knows what you need.
Right. Yeah. Right. And we're trying to decide, and maybe we can have all of your Facebook fans and YouTube fans vote. We're trying to decide whether or not to call it our supplement guidance program or Sue's Supplement Shack.
Oh, I kind of like Sue's
I thought it
Supplement
was
Shack.
Isn't it Slick Sue?
Slick Sue's
Supplement Shack.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What's up, Rob? Michelle says, I can say firsthand that the staff at Veritas is top notch, and you can tell everyone there loves their job.
Yeah.
I think that that's really important to talk about company culture, as we always do here on the show. When you walk into a place, normally I am filled with anxiety when I walk into a doctor's office. People are sick. People are unhappy. Not ever there. Your front desk is immediately greeted. They're so happy, so energetic. Whoever's working back there, even the people that are waiting in line, sometimes you wait a little longer. You actually spend time with your patients. So sometimes you have to wait a couple of minutes.
Us two running behind?
No,
Never.
never.
I'm always on time.
Vicky says Mike is awesome. And Nate
Thank you,
says, I
Vicky.
had to get off the pre-workout creatine at one point. I was working out. It was making me crazy. Yeah. Headaches. No good.
Right. And just make sure whatever you're doing is just lots and lots of water.
Yeah, but your staff is really wonderful. And I think that it's important to go to a place where it's joyful to go to the doctor. If that's weird to say, but it's real.
Yeah, I think we are our system because we were working directly for our patients. Happy patients mean happy healthcare workers, and vice versa. So we're trying to bring a little joy to healthcare, which is a rare thing to find these days. So.
Yeah, it is bizarre, but also a welcome change in my life. So thank you very much for that. You're also working for your patients with the nonprofit, which I think is really incredible, and all of your free time over there.
Yeah. So our model, it's a membership model. Our patients pay us directly. I went to medical school in New Orleans and did a whole lot of my training at Charity Hospital in New Orleans. I did my residency training at Boston Medical Center, Boston City Hospital. I realize that there are patients that can't afford our model. We're not trying to steal money from people. We're trying to do a good job, trying to do a better job and keep our lights on, pay our providers well. But I also understand that there are people out there that truly can't afford it. So about 3 months ago, we started a nonprofit called Patients Supporting Patients. We have a board, and we are accepting donations that will go directly towards patient scholarships for primary care purposes. So patients can go online, and if they have financial need, actually apply for a scholarship. And then our board meets once a month, and if we have enough money in the bank account, then we're just going to award those scholarships. Last month we awarded 7 scholarships.
That's amazing.
And I'm very happy with it. And we want to first thank our very generous donors, but also we're just happy to take care of patients. And the very first scholarship we awarded was the nicest lady on the planet who we've all known for a long time. She worked at Cape Cod Healthcare in the food services industry for 45 years. Oh. And it's just the nicest person. Everybody who works at Cape Cod Hospital knew this person, but she couldn't afford our membership, wanted to stay on. She filled out the application. we had the money.
That's
gave her a full
amazing.
scholarship for the year, and she was thankful. We're able to let our donors know that they were helping real people, and it's a great thing. So I'm hoping that can grow and develop. It's Cape Cod patientsupport.org, patients supporting patients. I think this is really the first time we started advertising.
Oh,
this
well,
right
that's
now.
awesome.
And we're hoping to put together some sort of a fundraiser in the late summer. So stay tuned for that.
It means a lot to me. We've got our dance marathon coming up this weekend over at Cape Cod. Why am I drawing a blank? Osterville. It is Cape Cod Academy. And it is our 14th year doing it. And Jen Rako started the Women's Early Detection Fund. And it's similar, only it's for women that need mammogram before it's time or covered medically necessary, or if you want to do some DNA testing that's not covered by your insurance. So it is important to me that, I'm excited that you're doing this for your patients.
We have very generous people on Cape Cod who are excited about helping their neighbors.
Yeah, it's really nice. Good morning, Chris. Hey, Mari, what's going on? And hey, Thomas, good to see your face today. We're talking with Doc Arnold and also pharmacist Mike from Veritas Direct Care. And we're talking about weight loss today. A lot of people have been curious about semaglutide. Did I say it right? Everybody says semaglutide, and I'm like, I think that's wrong.
I said that once, and Mike, that was one of the times.
That was the last time I
That
slapped
was
somebody.
it?
Yeah, he slapped me.
That's 9 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are curious about this magic weight loss drug. Is it really a magic weight loss drug? Is it really helping people? We see people dropping weight. When you don't see people for months and months. Talk about the time frame, because I feel like people feel like they're going to get one injection and magically they're going to lose 80 pounds today.
No. Yeah, no.
Okay.
No. It depends. It's so patient specific. Doc Arnold, you lost what? You said 20 pounds?
20 pounds, 9 weeks so far. The first dose, so the dose is titrated up, which is important to note. So we start at the lowest dose for the first 4 weeks. And the average person, I think, it loses 2 to 4 pounds that first 4 weeks, give or take.
I usually tell people 3 to 4 in the first month, and then your second month plus, 6 to 8 pounds, 1 to 2 pounds a week is normal.
Yeah.
It's healthy.
And that's why we also want to monitor them. We actually don't want people to lose too much weight too fast.
Okay.
We want to be healthy about it. People still need to eat. They need to hydrate. It's why we at our practice are going to be monitoring their labs every 4 weeks, as opposed to people who get it online or who knows where. And so it's not a magic drug. It has effects. It helps to regulate blood sugar, and as Mike said, slows down the GI system, so people feel more full longer and just aren't. And it turns down the chemicals in the brain that make us think about food all day long.
Well, that's really a problem, especially for foodies.
It is. It's actually somewhat relaxing, believe it or not. And I think there are people out there who know what I'm talking about. It's where you just always think
food obsessed.
Yeah.
Mari says, I need this one. Mark, cut out sugar. I always have a Pepsi or a Coke 2-liter in my hand. Stopped, switched to water. 40 pounds disappeared.
Isn't that amazing? Yeah.
Don, yeah, right. Exactly. Small changes in your lifestyle. I'm on it for type 2. I've lost 47 pounds in a year and a half. Good for you, Don. RTB, you got the link. Thank you, whoever is at your staff right now, dropping that patient support link right there. Thomas says he's down 6 pounds in a couple of months. Mary Jane, hello, good morning. Thanks for joining us. Hey, Trevor and Brooke. So it's not the magic drug that everybody thinks it is, but it does cut off that food obsession you said for yourself. Like, this is what you've noticed personally.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I have great sympathy or great empathy for alcoholics, right? Who tell me that they wake up and start thinking about when their next drink is. Well, I was like that for food, and this medication is definitely helping to curb that. It definitely is. I will say that. There is another version. People often ask me as a doctor, they say, "What about the pill version?" There is a pill version of semaglutide called Rybelsus, which is only labeled for diabetes. Correct, Mike?
That is correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Yes.
So diabetics can use that medication. I find that the injection, once I got over my needle phobia and realized that you don't even feel it, I like the once a week injection. I just do it. I don't have to think about it for the rest of the week.
Yeah.
Mike and I gather for Weight Loss Wednesday.
Oh, Weight Loss Wednesday.
Yeah.
What does that consist of? Oh, that's your day.
Yeah.
It's his day.
It's shot day.
Yeah, it's shot day. And,
I got it.
And then I don't have to think about it for the rest of the week. There are certain things. I recently, a little bit of plug, March was colon cancer awareness month, and I got my colonoscopy done.
Oh, super fun.
If you're on one of these GLP-1 agonists, you need to hold it for at least a week prior to a colonoscopy. There are various surgeries. We're hearing from orthopedic surgeons that they want their patients to hold it for a week prior. Mostly that is because the anesthesiologists don't want any leftover food in the stomach.
Gotcha.
So once again, it's important to be monitored and to be open with your primary care team about it, about all the medications you're on and your family history and how you're feeling, and just be open and honest.
Sue says she hasn't had a pastry in a year. Well, good for you, Sue.
All right, Sue.
I know. Brag, brag, brag. Why do you think, personally, as a doctor, why patients lie to you the most? Is it judgment?
No. I probably. Boy, wow,
It's like we
that's
say,
a tough one.
I know, like you say it out loud, then it's real. Like, what is it?
I think there's some of that. Honestly, I think concern over shame is a big deal. There's a reason why, we don't stress about having to weigh everybody all the time, because people get so worried about all of that.
I get on backwards. I don't even look at it. I don't care. Like, I've removed myself from the care of that weight because I was in the military and I never made weight. Even when I was a size 2, I never made weight because I was always heavy. And I always had this, like, I shut it off when I was like 22. I'm like, I don't give a crap what I weigh. It is what it is. And I'm not going to worry about it because I know I'm physically fit. I fit in my uniform. I'm not worried about it.
What branch of the service were you?
Army. Oh, yeah. We've got Ruck for Hit coming up, by the way, this weekend. Tonight, I get in a van and I don't leave it until Saturday morning. I have to drive it and make sure everybody lives. My team of 8 is going to be tag team relay racing from Picasset all the way to Provincetown and back. For the next, so we've got 20 teams this year. So I'm just letting you know, if you're driving on Cape Cod roadways and you see people running, just stay out of their way. Don't beep at them. They've been running a lot. Leave them alone and ride around them. Pay attention. But I never made weight, and it was always such a mental issue for me that I removed myself of the pounds on the scale situation because it didn't matter. I was physically fit.
And thank you for your service, by the way, Stephanie. We, back to the question about why people are not fully truthful with their doctors.
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit of built-in shame. For thousands of years, healthcare has been very paternalistic, meaning, your doctor is sort of, like a parental figure.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been telling people.
He loves to wag his
wag
finger.
my finger at
His favorite.
You need to get that sugar down. You need to lose weight. You need to, and that's what we need to change that. That's what we're doing at our practice. We want more of a personal relationship between the patient and their healthcare provider that can be honest and open. And that's what is missing in so much of primary care out there in the world right now, is that continuity. People bouncing around from provider to provider to provider. They can't build a relationship with somebody. I want our patients to have a relationship with their provider that lasts decades.
Yeah.
And all too often, especially on Cape Cod, we see primary care doctors, they come in, they leave after 1 or 2 years. You can't build that good, trusting relationship.
We know our healthcare system is broken, yet it's not being repaired. And this is why I love that Veritas is here, because you're doing it differently.
Yeah, we are. And we want to foster that relationship. The relationship is the most important thing, and hopefully build a trusting relationship so that people can be honest and say, you know what, I fell off the wagon and I went back to pizza.
Yeah.
I have not Mike hasn't slapped a patient in 9 weeks. I have not wrestled a patient to the ground.
Well, that's
in
good.
3 months.
Oh, I'm really proud of these guys. They're working it.
I thought this was a confession on radio that he went back to pizza.
No, you're like, wait a minute, what?
No. Yeah, I'm just not feeling it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
I think people lie to their healthcare professionals, their providers, their doctors also because they don't like change.
okay, yeah.
The paternalistic, you need to stop eating pizza and you need to work out more with your wagging of your finger. So they're like, okay, I'll do that.
Well, because people already feel bad enough. You know, if they're coming to you or they need some assistance or they're in a space, you already feel bad. So now you got to not only feel bad, but now you got to go to somebody who you don't spend a ton of time with and tell them all your shame. It's awkward.
And that's in the traditional way of doing primary care. If you add up what Medicare pays a primary care practice, you could look this up. It's across the United States. We're supposed to spend less than 7 minutes per patient visit. You can't actually develop any sort of a trusting relationship in 7 minutes. So, I think it is time. For thousands of years, doctors have wagged our fingers at patients and told them to do this, this, and the other. It's time for us to actually help them do those things.
Yeah, that's important.
That's what we're doing with Mike. It might be medications with Mike. It might be lifestyle management with nurse coaching. But it is time for us to help patients actually achieve their health goals.
Amazing. Mike, what else? It's not just the weight loss drugs, although primarily I think it's keeping you real busy right now.
I would say so, yeah.
What other stuff is like, so I just having a pharmacist, I know that you've helped my family with a couple of medication issues and you like getting to the bottom of an issue or problem that we were dealing with the pharmacies and other issues. It's really nice to have a pharmacist that's in-house on your side, advocating for you as a patient. I gotta say, my husband can't be the only one. I can't be the only one. My friends can't be the only ones that are thankful for you being in house.
So are you asking me what else I do?
Yeah.
All right.
Just in case you're out there going, I need that.
Well, I'll stand on a soapbox just like Dr. Arnold and against working for a patient instead of insurance companies. Yeah. I don't like pharmacy benefit managers playing games trying to get prescriptions filled. How is it that a provider can write a script to try and help a patient? Okay, we're going to treat your cholesterol.
Yeah.
Writes a script for a statin. You go to the pharmacy. Oh, insurance won't pay for it. Well, then you got to go back to the doctor. And it's this back and forth and back and forth. So I will do complete and in-depth medication reviews, sit down with a patient. Patient might bring up, oh yeah, I've been paying $400 a month for whatever drug because it was just easier because the insurance won't cover it.
Right.
Well, then I'll help that patient. We'll look up their formulary. We'll see what the alternatives are, see if the alternatives match or interact with other drugs, if it's appropriate. And then if, let's say it's Dr. Arnold's their doctor, I'll stick my head out and say, hey, what do you think about this? And usually I get a
yes,
sure.
No, good.
Yes.
Okay, that should work.
We work as a team.
Right. Well, it's really important. I had a friend of mine this week that took to Facebook to rant because that's what we do now. And it was because her pharmacy was closed for the 11th time and she was trying to get her script filled and it wasn't unavailable and she's freaking out and can't get a hold of her doctor. And now she's unmedicated and ranting on Facebook, which nobody needs. It's like, this is not good. It's broken.
The first 10 people that signed up for Veritas Direct Care a year ago. And thank you for being
amazing.
Part of the revolution. They signed up because of Mike.
Yeah.
Not just because of his guidance. They were very honest with me. They said, he saves me so much money that it's going to pay for the membership.
I like, honestly, the amount of hours my husband has spent fighting with a pharmacist that's not there, doesn't care, gone back and forth. Sorry, we don't have time to deal with. They don't have time to deal with you at your grocery store. They don't have time to deal with you at CVS and Walgreens and all of these places. They just don't have time to deal with you.
And we love our retail pharmacists. We love them.
Yeah.
Their job is very, very difficult. But
so difficult that I left. I couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
I begged Dr. Arnold to hire me for months.
Yeah.
That's amazing, though.
It was a great decision.
Right? Seriously, though.
But they don't teach doctors in medical school. They don't teach nurses in nursing school anything about formularies or pharmacy benefit managers or the donut hole. I still don't exactly know what that is, but people talk about the donut hole all the time.
You're busy with your patients, though. You shouldn't have to sit
right.
there and learn these things. You should be working with your patients.
But Mike does know those things, and he knows how to help people save money and give them guidance on what the most appropriate medications that they should be on would be. It's just it's a nice team we have. And you should check it out.
Yeah, for sure. Shelly said, I never met an overweight patient who didn't already know they were overweight. We don't need to scold. We need to give them tools to help them. Absolutely. 100%. Good morning, Gail and Kathy. Thank you so much for joining us on the show. Doc Arnold and Pharmacist Mike have been here from Veritas Direct Care. Give out all the information so that people can get a hold of you if they want to start using you for primary care, if they want to use the weight loss clinic and meet Nurse Bethany and work on their holistic approach to nutrition and actually making some real lifestyle changes, or you just need to do it differently.
VeritasDirectCare.com. Veritas is Veritas. VeritasDirectCare.com. 508-418-6600. We are in the brown condo building right across the street from the front door of Cape Cod Hospital. You can come on by. You can stand on the sidewalk and say, hey, where's Dr. Dan? I do. I'm happy to give people tours. I'm happy to introduce you to providers. And I don't have any dates yet, but we're going to be doing some seminars in the very near future, in person and in line, talking about direct primary care and what we're doing in our practice. We are hoping to expand or hoping to bring on new primary care physicians in the not distant future. And it's just a very exciting thing. So VeritasDirectCare.com, or just call us if you have any questions, if you want to walk around, meet people, meet Mike, meet Bethany, meet any of our providers. Our providers are wonderful.
So amazing.
Yeah. So
lots to choose from too. So you can find the right person for you. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming in and talking to us today. I think that you answered a lot of our questions, and I'm sure if you've got more that you can reach out and follow back with these gentlemen. I'm late for a chamber appointment. Mashpee Chamber. I'm coming. I know we got a board meeting. I'll be there. All right. Everybody have a great day today. Everybody that's participating in Ruck for Hit, good luck. We've got a very busy weekend over the weekend. Lots of people visiting us. Daffy Festival. We've got tons of an influx of visitors. It's definitely feeling like spring finally here on the Cape. So be safe. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Thank
so
you
much.
for
Take care.
coming.
Bye.
Thanks
so
for having us.
good. For sure. All right, everybody. Hank is up next. We'll talk to you soon. If you're listening to us on the stream, lemonadio.com, we thank you. Roku TV, Alexa, play Lemonadio Radio.